Welcome to In the Zone with Chris Zander, where we talk lifestyle, entrepreneurship, self-care, and much more. So go grab a drink or a snack and come on back because it is now time to get in the zone. My guest today is a worldwide legend whose family business has graced Nashville and the entire world with its legendary yet famous hot chicken. Let's welcome the owner of Prince's Hot Chicken, Miss André Prince Jeffries. How are you doing, Miss André?
Fine, just glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you here. So I want to start here. Your great-uncle, Thornton Prince. That's where it all began. He started this journey in 1936. Please tell us just a little bit about the story behind that.
It's alleged my great-uncle being the person that he was, James Thornton Prince. Everybody called him Thornton.
Yeah.
That I know of. Now, Thornton was a ladies' man, as were a lot of the men in my family. At the state archives, he was married 5 times. So, being the person that he was, I think we have given kudos to the wrong person. It had to have been a woman.
Okay. And why do you say
that was behind this hot chicken? It had to have been a woman who was scorned, hurt, because it's alleged.
Yeah, right.
We don't know. We weren't there.
Yeah.
That more than likely, he made this person very angry. The only day of the week that they had way back then was on Saturday night.
Okay.
When they got off of work. Because they practically worked 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And with him being a hog farmer, raising chickens, right there on Nolensville Road, where one of our locations.
Yes, yeah.
Down the street, I remember my grandfather taking me to that farm, and he was out slopping the hogs and so forth and so on. It was all country, rural, very rural.
Yeah.
And the only time they had to really get out and kind of let loose was on this is my thinking. It had to have been on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
So evidently, Uncle Thornton got involved and he got carried away and he lost track of time. And evidently, he must have been late coming home.
Oh, okay.
He had to have been late. Real late coming home. Because in our culture, back then, Sunday morning breakfast was an accumulation of all the leftovers in the refrigerator plus some. And of course, everybody had chickens in the backyard. They were killing chickens, wringing the necks early on Saturday mornings, about 6 o'clock in the morning.
Good grief, so they got up that early?
Huge pot of water boiling over those coals and woods, kindling and all of that stuff. I remember that in the backyard. And that was a thing. Everybody had chicken.
Yeah.
So evidently, with this scorned woman, whoever she may have been, she said, I'm going to get him back. You didn't talk. You didn't talk back then.
Yeah.
You acted. The women didn't talk back then. They just acted. That was a reaction. And evidently, it may have come to her all of a sudden. Hey, I'm going to get him back for hurting me. He was there. He had gotten in more than likely late. She probably went to the garden or somewhere, and they didn't have drive-in markets back then. And she probably threw something on that chicken to get him back, to let him know she is furious.
Right.
So, but hey, he liked his punishment. He liked it. He had, more than likely, he asked for some more, shared it with his friends, more than likely. This is just my thinking.
Yeah.
And hey, that's it.
Yeah.
The rest is history.
Here you are today.
Here we are.
Yeah. And let me tell you.
Deal with this fiery chicken.
Yes.
And you know, what's her name? I can't think of her name right now, but she's on TV. But she went to Ghana. And somebody had come to the shack several years ago from Africa. And they told me that in Africa, they have a revenge chicken. All right, you tracing it?
Yeah.
This is a revenge chicken. This is it. Have mercy. We don't know where the young lady could have directly come from, but hey, she had it on her mind.
And see,
and that legend is still living today.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
Uncle Thornton.
I love that. And the thing is now, we feel the heat. You know what I'm saying? Like we feel it after 90 plus years later. We feel the heat, you know?
Revenge. Revenge is still going on.
I love that. I do.
Uncle Thornton.
I do. I do want to ask you this, though, because like I stated, you guys were in business in the 1930s. So that's over 90-something years, almost 100
that's
years.
At the State Archives. He opened his first business at 28th and Jefferson Street near Tennessee State University and in 1936. And we have the picture on the wall at South.
Wow.
Yes.
How does it feel to be a part of such legends?
You don't appreciate things. And when you grow up with things already in your family, you kind of take things for granted. And you really don't appreciate, hey, what is this? Because people are coming from all over the world, and I mean the world, to at where I was before, at the little hole in the wall.
Yeah.
My mother always said, if you have what people want, they'll come and get it. They'll find their way. And somehow they have found their way in those little hole in the walls. They have heard about it, and they continue to come to this day from all over the world.
And how does that make you feel?
I got to work a little harder. work. But it's stimulating. It's stimulating. So it inspires me to keep on moving. My customers, even when I'm down and out and just want to throw the towel in, hey, somebody will come smiling in the window, in that little bitty order window, and say something nice and kind. Kindness is very effective.
Yeah.
Kindness is very effective to people in business. It just motivates you to just keep on going.
Yeah.
So that is what has inspired me. Of course, my mother is the one suggested that I take over this business. Of course, we didn't go to the business because it was always known as a late night place.
Gotcha.
It didn't open up way back then until 6 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evenings.
Yeah.
When everybody had gotten off work, and of course, children weren't there.
Yeah.
We only went on holidays, Christmas and Easter or something like that, and when the customers weren't there. But I was just looking around as a little child. I was just a looker, and for somebody who never cooked at home, never. My mother always got up early, always had breakfast on the table. She was dressed and ready to go out to school. So she worked. She was a teacher across the street from us. So everything was already done. My brother cooked. My father cooked. My father worked at night at the post office, and he would have supper ready in the afternoons when we'd get out of school. So hey, we didn't have to cook. We didn't have to cook. My brother cooked every now and then on Saturdays. His famous real French fries. Oh, potatoes. Oh, my goodness. He made the best after peeling those potatoes. He did the real thing.
So I want to ask you, because here's the thing, like you say, you never cooked really.
Never cooked at home.
And that, which is wild to think of.
And here I am.
Here you are. But the thing is, a lot of people don't know this as well. You worked for Metro, the tax assessor's office.
Right.
So how did you, that transition between the tax assessor's office to being in the restaurant and not cooking, not knowing how to cook? Like, what's that transition?
It's totally amazing. Mama said, the Lord works in mysterious ways, his wonders to perform. And that is absolutely the truth. I, being divorced at the time, and I'm still divorced, and with 2 children, and my parents were helping me pay my bills because it wasn't enough pay.
Yeah.
Making, but I was just glad to be there. And my mother was always thinking ahead. Now, a long time ago, Mother had called me in. We were out playing one summer day on the front porch with our neighbors, and Mother was in the kitchen cooking. And Mother came to the front door as we were playing outside on the porch. She called my name, Sister, well, she called me. Come in. Of course, I was pretending I didn't hear her. I was having a good time with my friends on the porch.
Yeah.
And I guess I was about 12 years old, 12 or 13 years old, no more than 13. And Mother came to that door again. Sister, come in. Hey, you knew the tone. You knew to stop whatever you doing. You better
She said,
get in
you heard
that
me
house.
the first time now.
So I went in, and Mother said, Sister, I want to teach you how to cut up a chicken. I said, cut up a chicken? I couldn't believe it. I'm playing, and you want me to cut up a chicken? You never asked me that before. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, you didn't say that out loud.
Right. You knew better. Right?
And she commenced to showing me how to divide that chicken and cut it up into 8 pieces. And then after she showed me, she asked me to do it. And I did it. And then she said, now you can go back outside and play. And that was the only time. I didn't cook it, but I cut it up.
Yeah.
Wow. My mother was such a person ahead of her time.
Yeah.
She had to ding dong. And then when my great uncle passed, going back to his having the chicken shack, barbecue chicken shack was what his place was called. When he passed, his brother took over. Will Prince took over. When Will Prince passed, his wife Maud Prince took over. But Maud never worked in the place, in the business. She just did the books, the bookkeeping, the business part of it. For Maud, Uncle Thornton's sister-in-law, for Maud, she hired her cousin. And her cousin's name, Bolton. That's how Bolton came in the picture.
Gotcha.
She hired her cousin Bolton, that I didn't know and had never met, to run the business for her. Okay. When my great aunt, who was married to Will Prince, who had passed, got tired of the business, she was getting older, having some health problems, she approached my mother, who was sick at the time at Meharry Hospital with cancer, breast cancer, my mother. And she approached her and told her that she wanted to get out of the business if she knew anybody that might be interested in taking it over before she let it go, before Maud would let it go. And my mother said, my daughter André. She being divorced with 2 children. I think she should try it. Well, when I came to visit Mama, that later on that day, after I got off from work, she told me about it. And I said, Mama, you want me to do what? I don't cook.
Right. So how am I supposed to run this? Right. I don't cook. I don't know.
I've only been there a couple of times.
Yeah.
So, but Mama said, I think you should do this to help take care of yourself. She said, here I am with cancer.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be with you long. And we're getting older. So I want you to be able to take care of yourself. Well, I'm going to get married again. I'm going to find me a man with some money. And Mama said, you know, you're not grown until you're able to take care of yourself. First.
Oh.
All right, Mama, I'm going to try it. They were opening at 6 o'clock in the evenings. After I got off at 4:30. And coming from work, going right into the business.
Yeah.
That was a challenge. But here I am. 44 years later, André is still with that business, changing the name to in recognition of the Prince family.
Yeah.
That was my goal, to keep something in the family that I grew up on, taken for granted, and seeing all the different people from all places all over the world come in motivated me to stay with it.
Do you ever look at yourself because it's hard to look at yourself and see yourself the way others see you?
Heck no, I don't want to see that.
But you get what I'm saying? It's the fact that you stepped into something that was very intimidating, one might say, right? Then to be able to step into that and not only take over, but to transform it and to give back a legacy to your family, that says a lot about who you are as well. So how does it make you feel?
It's unbelievable that I'm still with it, because I just thought I'd flip it and be gone.
Yeah.
Or going further down the road as I could get. Of course, I probably wouldn't have gotten too far.
Oh, my goodness. But yeah.
But it was all in the process of growing up and digesting the fact that my parents, who had always, even though I was married, and my ex-husband had a relative at that time, a nice little income, but it's still, of course, nothing is enough. And I was married for 3 years and I didn't work. I was just there with the children. So it has been an awakening. My husband and ex-husband and I, which we are still very good friends, we're both students at Tennessee State at the time.
Yeah.
And hey, we were just maneuvering, trying to find our way in this world. And wow.
I want to ask you this because the thing is, you talk about essentially that was financial independence for you as a woman. What advice could you give to other young women who are roughly my age, who are maybe married, they don't really make their own income, right? How should they go about maybe setting some money aside for themselves, or just anybody that's married, honestly, because that's one of the things that doesn't get talked about a lot is, having some financial independence or setting some stuff aside for just you. What advice could you give to those people?
If you want to have something in this world, you got to make a sacrifice. You got to work for it. And you got to stay with it. Be persistent, no matter what. Because you want to keep a roof over your head. Everybody's got to eat to survive. We can't continue to be dependent on other people. And if you have children, you want to set an example for them and let them know that you love them so much that you'll work for them. Take care of them. Let them see it. Don't say anything. Don't say, I love you, and sit at home. You got to let them know by action. You got to work for them and let them, you got to prove it to them. It's visual. Love is action.
Now I want to I want to transition and talk a little bit more about the chicken itself, because when you go to Prince's Hot Chicken, you guys have so many different flavors. There's levels to the heat. You get what I'm saying? So it's the mild, right? It's the plain.
Mild is the original.
Okay, that's the original.
That's Uncle Thornton.
And then there's a hot, right? There's a spicy.
I started that. I have to give myself a little bit of credit.
Yes. So you tell us about that since you started.
When I first took over 44 years ago, I changed the name to the family name. Then somebody suggested that it was always one way. It was always one way. It was always served one way. You didn't have any choice.
Yeah.
But to get it that one way. But somebody suggested, say, I want my child to eat it. I think I can have it a little bit hotter. And more women, you can't, some of these women, you cannot get it hot enough for them. More women eat it at the supreme hot.
Goodness.
Than men.
What's wrong with the men? Are we punks?
Men. Men will try it. That's that macho in them. But they'll come down off of it. And that fiery woman, she's like, give me some more. Give me some more. Give me some more. I mean, it is amazing.
Yeah.
How the women maintain it. We have 3 levels to hot. The first level, the second level, and then the supreme level.
Yeah.
But over these years, it's more children that are coming in and eating that spicy chicken. It's amazing. There's Aiden, who's been eating it. Evidently, his mother must have been, when she was expecting.
Yeah.
Continue to eat, which I wouldn't recommend. Doctors don't recommend you eat anything spicy unless the baby is overdue their time. If they're overdue, then you eat something spicy because the babies get so comfortable in being in that womb that, hey, they don't want to come out. So anyway, you get some spicy, and it's evident. I have known women who the husbands sometimes come in when they can't take it any longer. They'll come in and ask for the hot chicken, and the women will, hey, with child, will come in, which I always tell them. That's why I try to stay in the window and watch and see to make sure, don't have it too soon, because that'll stimulate the baby. And they got to get out of there. It's hot and fiery in that womb. So, hey, we have evidence, and that is true.
Wow.
Have mercy. But recommend only the doctors when they're overdue their time, that they think they should have been here. And that happens. That happens quite a bit.
One of the things that many people don't know is the fact that when you first step into the position, you were learning and trying to help the business to stay afloat. But through that, you went through some people just kind of taking advantage of you and trying to, just
You're
trying to do that kind of stuff.
Always have some devils around.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah. Somebody's always going to be selling you out.
How did you deal with that? Because, like you said, there's always somebody.
Hard. It's hard because you can't trust. Who can you trust?
That's true.
That's
true.
And the devil stays real close to you. The devil is always looking and watching over your shoulder. They know how to maneuver to get in. And that's still true today. Hey, the devil's going to be there. You cannot shake the devil. You have to learn. Everybody's not your friend. But you can't let them know everything. Because you know in the back of your mind, my mother taught me well.
Yeah.
She did. I have to give her credit.
Yeah.
She taught me well through the process of growing up. Watch how you go up the ladder. Because you might have to come back down that same ladder and face those same people. So you have to watch your conversation, which I don't always do. Nobody does.
Yeah, because you don't think about it like that on that level often, but you do have to.
The people you least suspect as selling you out, those are the ones. You have to keep a lot to yourself, but you have to keep going because you got bills to pay. You got bills to pay, and they coming every day. They're there every day, so you would just have to beware. You remember that song, Beware? Oh, beware. But none of us are saints. Just keep on maneuvering. Keep on maneuvering. Keep on down the road.
What I love about you is your ability to be personable. Because as legendary as you are, and as legendary as your business is, and I mean that, you are still so personable. I feel like you're one of my aunties, my great aunt, or somebody in my family. And I love that because it's like the wisdom you shared today, and then to still be able to pour out into the community. And in spite of the things, people who've tried to stop you, who've tried to take, your success, they haven't won. Where does that sense of groundedness come from?
I have to continue to.
Yeah.
From a little child, my mother would have us in the living room having our personal prayer meetings on Saturday night. Saturday nights, we had prayer meeting. For as long as I can remember, my mother had us down on our knees.
Yeah.
And she was praying. So I keep that in mind because life is not always a bowl of cherries. It's not. So, Mother said again, when I was going through some things, and whenever I still continue to go through some of life's heavy burdens, I think back on what my mother said one early morning when I left my house and I went to my mother's house in the wee hours of the morning. Mother already had the door open like she knew I was coming. No cell phones back then. And I drove up into the yard. And I noticed that my mother had that door open.
Yeah.
I said, why is Mama got the door open in the wee hours of the morning? And I got out of the car. I got to the porch. And I said, Mama. She said, Sister, I knew you were coming. I said, you did. So I just fell in Mama's arms. And I said, Mama, I just can't take it anymore. Mama nurturingly, oh, she was so beautiful. She held me back and she said, she looked in my eyes and she said, Sister, what makes you think you are too good to suffer?
Oh. Yeah, right. Right.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
But she said it in such a gentle way.
Ooh.
Not a hateful way.
Yeah, yeah.
And so whenever I'm going through any struggles, I think about what Mama said. My mentor, God sent. Hey. Yeah. What makes me think I'm too good for trouble? Hey. Hey, I turned around, went on back home, and got my children up for Sunday school and took them to church.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, when you have a background like that, oh my goodness. Have mercy. But, hey, so that all those little thoughts of motivation keep you going. It just has kept me going. Besides my customers. My customers. I got some beautiful, faithful, dedicated customers. Even when the chicken is at its worst, half done or anything, they'll come and give me some inspiration. Of course, you're going to have the devil say, hey, ain't no good.
Right. But you don't let them stop you.
But it's just 44 years, here I am.
And I have to ask you this
idea.
as well. You just recently had a birthday. You just recently celebrated 78.
78 years old. I can't even believe. I used to talk about people as old as I am, wondering why does it take them so long to get up out of the chair?
Hey,
now I know.
It's a blessing,
Keep
though.
living.
It's a blessing. I want to ask you this,
living.
though. For people that are over 50 and specifically seniors over 70, what advice can you give to those who feel like they're too old or it's too late or they should just throw in the towel? Because at 78, it seems like you are at your prime and you are still winning. Still winning, still growing. So what advice could you give to them?
Keep moving. Keep moving. You got to move. Got to flex those muscles and just walk across the floor. Start out walking across the floor. I have to motivate myself to get on up and move around. shake it. Just I tell you, it's amazing. We were taught to respect our elders. And now, in this day and time, we're slamming the elders because of the wisdom they have. How can we? I used to sit around my grandfather at the feet of my grandfather, listening to his stories, loving them, loving his stories. And this day and time, they're slamming the elders like hey, just drop down. I mean, it's unreal.
Yeah.
Respect the wisdom. You grow with wisdom. You grow and learn.
Yeah.
But they're slamming us. And here I am.
Listen,
elderly.
you still winning though. It's the thing. It's like someone can slam you all day long, but you still gonna rise above the wisdom.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing. My granddaughter recently had a birthday, and of course I was there. She hugged me and kissed me and thanked me for coming. And then she came to me a little while later, said, "Granny, it's time for you to go." I said, "Is the party over?" She said, "You got to get in, Granny." She rolled me on out the door and into the car. Hey, Granny had to go, had to leave. That's when the party got started after I left. I didn't know they were waiting on me to leave.
They wanted to have respect. That's it. They wanted to have some respect.
But Granny had to get out of there. So that lets you know how old you are. That's putting you in your place.
Oh my goodness.
Hey.
No, it's pure respect. It's
you
pure
live
respect.
long enough. I never thought I'd see this day, but hey, they putting me out of the party.
And what about those who are maybe 70 plus who want to start a business? What advice could you give to them?
Do it. Do it. Don't wait. Hey, just stop what you're doing and start working on it. Work on it. Work on it. Work on it. And keep your mind on it. If that's your passion, start it. Because hey, keep on. You're never too old.
Yeah.
You're never too old to start something. I saw that lady yesterday on TV running a marathon, and she was 90 years old. I said, "What? Lord, if a 90-year-old can do it, well, no, I don't think I can get in any marathon, I'll tell you, but she's going to be over there in France." I said, wow, that's motivating.
Yeah.
That's motivating. And you got to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Let that window up. Inhale some fresh air and open that door and leave the house. But stay in the house too much. Get outside.
So allow yourself, I guess, older people to be creative. Put yourself in your mindset. Believe in your mind that you can still do it. There is no limits to you.
That's where
and
it
then
starts.
put yourself in a space to where you can be creative. And that's your own sacred space.
No
to
matter
just do.
what age. No matter what age.
Yeah.
Just start. Start. That's the biggest holdback. We procrastinate and put off starting. Start it.
Okay, so Miss André, lastly, what would you say to all of the people who have not yet tried Prince's Hot Chicken? Why should they come and see you try out the family restaurant? What are they going to be surprised to know when they arrive?
Well, they might be surprised to see me. However, when I started, I started a different variation. The plain, the mild, the medium, the hot, and all the way up to the supreme hot.
Yeah.
So we have something for everybody.
Yeah.
It's hot chicken, spicy chicken is not for everybody. It has a different effect on different people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people have reacted and acts as if It's an aphrodisiac. It puts you in the mood.
Oh, uh-oh.
That hot? Hey, hey, that's for some people now. It's access of as a medical.
Yeah.
Some people have said they come to clear their sinuses.
Yeah.
You know, they use it for different reasons.
Can I be honest with you, since we're being transparent like that?
Uh-oh.
One night, I was downtown, had a little bit too much fun. And of course, you guys are open later downtown. So I went downtown, got me some chicken. It helped me. It got me right. So I was able to move along and do good. I was good.
When you can make it there. Now, if you can make it there, have mercy. We had some customers, the cars drove them there. How they got there, I have no idea. They came in, they would come in leaning. Those were the days, I tell you, when we stayed open till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
But the downtown location does stay open longer. But please come and try us. People are coming from all over the world, and Nashville is now being known for hot chicken as well as the music city.
Yeah.
So I have to give a tribute to former Mayor Bill Purcell that did a study when he was at over the Kennedy Center at Harvard on hot chicken. And he did that research all over the country. And he found out that we were the first in the country to sell chicken spicy in the country.
Yeah.
Prince, which was then at that time called Barbecue Chicken Shack when my great uncle had it. And I also have to send a tribute out to the little boy who came in at 8 years old and nobody was there to help me open up and get those cast iron skillets started. And I was scared to death. And who appeared but Mario Hambrick from Dodge City saying, do you have any work for me to do? Asking me. And he's still with me.
Wow.
Mario Hambrick.
Wow.
I send a shout out to him.
Yes.
He's still with me. And a child should lead them. And he has been leading me.
Yeah.
Since he was 8. He's 47 now.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
So he's still leading me.
I love that.
I have to send a shout out to them and my daughter, Simone, who is totally involved in the business. Simone.
Yeah. So lastly, anything else that you would like to say to the listeners and watchers today?
Keep on helping me pay these bills, please. I need you. I need your money. I'm begging. Thank you.
Miss André, thank you so much for your time today. And I really appreciate just you sharing a fraction of your story. And more than anything, I respect the legendary things that you guys have done, your family has done here in Nashville, and you as the legend that you are as well. Okay?
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
There's
indeed.
no me without you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For local Nashvillians looking to try Prince's Hot Chicken for the first time, you can try it at any of the 3 locations here in Nashville. You can visit the main location south of Nashville at 5814 Nolensville Pike every day except Sundays from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. You can also find out more about Prince's Hot Chicken at www.princeshotchicken.com. To my listeners and watchers, thank you for tuning in today. And until next time.